Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's time to get up and get going, South Coast. It's time for the Tim Weisberg Show on WBSM. Also streaming live on WBSM.com and on the WBSM app. Talk to Tim now at 508-996-0500 or send him a message or a voicemail through the WBSM app. And now, ready to start your day off with a bang. It's Tim Weisberg.
Welcome back in. Hour number 2 of the program here on Thursday morning, 508-996-0500. That is the number to call in and chime in. You can also send app chat messages and open line voicemails on the WBSM app. And as I mentioned, it was windy this morning. It looks like the wind is calmed down a bit. It's still gusting, but it's not as constant as it was when I was on my way in. But certainly yesterday, it was pretty bad as well, and including downtown Boston, where the glass panel above Home Goods in Downtown Crossing was blown out of the wall and fell down onto the sidewalk below, narrowly missing a woman. So just goes to show you that, we say when the wind is like that you got to be on the lookout for things. Yeah, well, she thankfully, it was a near miss. I don't know, that old Gallagher joke. Why do we call it a near miss when it's actually a near hit? So glad she's okay. 508-996-0500. Good morning. You're on WBSM.
Good morning, Mr. Weisberg.
Good morning.
I was ready to head out the door for my morning walk, and I had a few minor problems, but I straightened them out real quick. And while I was doing that, I heard, I guess it was Sketty. Is that what you guys call her?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was her. I guess I'm getting to recognize her voice. Now, this message is for Sketty, that darling woman that calls in with that sweet little voice. She reminds me of little bluebird, flying around in the springtime. Sketty, this message is for you from Mary. Don't ever worry about our man, Mr. Weisberg, getting any kind of a depression, because if it happens, I can snap him out of it in seconds, and he will be fine. All I have to do is drag him outside into the sun with a fresh bottle of water, fresh oxygen outside, and start a little debate about anything, about his sandwiches and what he's putting on it. Or we can start a debate about Donald Trump, and he'll get pissed off. The oxygen will hit his brain real quick, and I'll stimulate his blood for him. There'll be no depression. He'll be fine the rest of the day. I won't let nothing happen to our man, Sketty. I don't hear no depression from you, Mr. Weisberg, at all. You're doing great.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I didn't really feel any depression at all. I mean, for me, it was kind of maybe more anxiety than anything, because I haven't missed that much work in a long time. Or actually ever. I've never taken that much time off of work. The closest I came was when I was on a jury for 2 weeks. So, I just get nervous and, worrying about when I get back to work. I knew everybody here had everything under control, but it's just a matter of, what am I going to have to do when I get back? How far am I going to be behind? Those kind of things. But that was fleeting. I didn't really think that much about it.
No, I'm amazed at the way you bounced back like that. You came back to work real soon. I mean, it was amazing.
I mean, I also have a pretty easy job. I just sit down and talk. So it's, if I was a roofer or somebody who worked harder, I probably would have needed to take a lot more time off.
Well, I don't know. I don't hear any. Although people do cover depression a lot. I mean, look at Robin Williams. The guy was all stressed out, but you would never know. And look what he did. And when they start giving medications, I mean, you get depressed, the worst thing you can do is take those pills they're giving even to teenagers, and they get so depressed they kill themselves. we got to watch what we're taking. We got to watch what we're eating. It's left and right. Now, real fast about Richard Lewis. I was right up there. I mean, you said you were just a kid, but I was right there. Right when he first came on the scene, I liked him immediately. I liked the way he looked, his mannerisms. The guy was funny.
Mm-hmm.
Real funny. But then I also listened to a lot of the bad guys too, like Sam Kinison, George Carlin. They would swear and all. I was very interested to hear them because they were funny as heck.
Yeah,
real funny. Yeah.
And there wasn't a lot of people in the 80s that, because the 80s was about having kind of the rock star stand-up comedian mentality. So you didn't have a lot of people who were self-deprecating like Richard Lewis, people who were insulting themselves on stage.
Yep. And I remember, who's that other guy now? The names are escaping me, but I saw a lot of them. I remember I was old enough when Jay Leno first came on the scene and replaced you-know-who. I mean, and now he's gone too now, right? He's not there anymore.
No, he's well, I'd say he's retired, but he's still working. He just retired from the Tonight Show. But I was watching some old episodes of Good Times a couple weeks ago, and I saw Jay Leno in a role as just a guy hanging out in a doctor's office because he had VD. And he has a conversation with JJ, and I think that was his first ever TV appearance. So that was 1977 probably.
And Leno, he has a nice collection of cars.
He does.
Oh boy.
When he took over the Tonight Show, I was a big Jay Leno fan. I mean, I watched the Tonight Show every night that I could stay up anyway, but I thought I was going to be Johnny Carson when I grew up. But when he took over the Tonight Show, I was such a big fan, and I wrote him a letter congratulating him. I was, 10, 11, 12, probably 13 years old. I wrote him a letter congratulating him, and he sent me back a nice little package with an autograph photo and everything. It was really nice.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Well, you were lucky with that.
Yeah, I still have it somewhere.
You're making remind me of how old I am. You're saying you were just a kid, and this and wow, oh boy. And Rodney Dangerfield, what about him? He was funny.
I loved Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that guy was something. He's gone. All the good ones are all gone now. I mean, we have comics today. The King of Queens, I was into that so bad, and Everybody Loves Raymond. And
well, Kevin James comes to New Bedford a lot.
Yes, I think, it's a shame that he don't come on the radio when he's here, with you guys.
Open invitation if he ever wants to.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Have you ever seen a movie called Becky?
No, I have not.
So I would recommend checking it out if you're a Kevin James fan. He plays the villain in that movie. It's a movie about a young girl who her family gets killed, and she takes revenge on the neo-Nazis that kill her family. And he plays the leader of the bad guys, and he's really good and really menacing. It's surprising at how good he is, because you're so used to him being the goofball.
Yeah, he's great. He's great. And like I said, Everybody Loves Raymond, too. That guy was funny, too. He makes faces funny. I like the whole show, everything about it. And now that Doris, she's gone, the woman that played his mother. I forget her last name, but
Doris Roberts, something.
Yeah, and the guy that played his father, too, Peter or something.
Peter Boyle.
Oh, very funny. There's something like comedy to cheer you up,
He was also the monster in Young Frankenstein.
Yes. So would I be able to find that, Becky, on Tubi or somewhere?
Maybe, yeah. That might be on Tubi because they just came out with a sequel last year, so they probably put the original out there in as many places as they could.
The movie I want to see, I'm starting to see the ads for it now, Dune. I want to see Dune.
Did you see the first part?
Yes. And there was another Dune that I've been looking for. It's a way older one.
The one that David Lynch did in the 80s, yeah.
All I know is I can't find that. That's the one that started me off, that one, Dune. I want to go see that, but I don't want to pay. I want a date. I want somebody to take me to go see that movie, the new Dune. Where is it playing? Because I didn't catch where it's coming.
It'll be, hold on 1 second, because I'm actually an AMC member, and so I have the app on my phone, and I'm positive it's coming to the Dartmouth Mall, but I can tell you, it opens up on Friday at the Dartmouth Mall, and they've got it playing at 3, 4, 5:30, 6:45, 7:40, 9:15, and 10:30. So lots of chances to see it on Friday.
Wow. Complete information. You're right on top of it. I haven't been into a theater to watch a movie in about 30 years. I was taking my grandchildren at the time. Yeah, it's been a long time I've not been inside. And I do remember that last time that I went there, I almost walked out. And I don't know if it's that way today, because if it is, I'll be walking out again.
Well, what was it that made you walk out?
Movies, they play it too loud. My ears were hurting.
Oh, it's still going to be pretty loud, but I would recommend if that's the case, I would recommend bringing like some little foam, little
earplugs.
Earplugs,
I have them. I have them.
But I can tell you this too, I go to the Dartmouth Mall quite a bit because I signed up for the monthly membership, so I can go see 3 movies a week, all included it's like $25 a month. And
well, aren't we lucky?
I don't do anything else. Movies are kind of my only real hobby. So
right.
And I can tell you that I have a great experience every time I go. I don't think I've ever had a problem when I've gone there.
I think I went over the 3 minutes, Mr. Weisberg.
That's all right. I'm excited for you to go back to the theater for the first time in decades to see Dune. I look forward to I look forward to your review of the film.
Yeah, and I'm not lying. It's been over 30 years.
Do you remember what the last movie was you saw?
Yes, I took my grandchildren. What was it? I can't recall. It was some kind of a cartoon for the kids. It was a cartoon with maybe, I don't know.
Probably like a Disney one, or?
I think it was a Disney movie, but I'm telling you, I came so close to walking out. It was very sad. I suffered it out for the kids. And if it's hurting my ears, that certainly must have damaged their eardrums. Is there a need for it to even be that loud?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know why they set the decibel level the way they do. I usually sit way in the back of the theater anyway, if I can, or in the middle. Like I could never be on the sides closer to the speakers. And
well, that's true too.
I watch everything with closed captioning now, so sometimes I will actually go to the theater because some of the movies they will actually have closed captioning on, and sometimes I'll choose that depending on how I'm feeling about that movie.
So I'm going to go in search of Becky now. Is that the name of it?
Yep, Becky.
Netflix or something? Okay, I'll look around.
It's got to be somewhere.
All right, thank you.
All right, you have a good day.
Have a great day. You too. Bye-bye.
And I had mentioned that there is a sequel to Becky. It's called The Wrath of Becky. So basically this girl is a badass. And like it's not giving anything away that, she goes up against the people that kill her family. So... And Kevin James in the first one being the bad guy is just incredible. I couldn't believe that he pulled it off. I was like, there's no way I'm going to buy him as a menacing villain, but I sure did. So check that out, Becky. So right now, if you want to call in, 508-996-0500. You can also send app chat messages on the WBSM app. I can't imagine going 30 years without going to the movie theater. I love going to the movies. And I get it. It's expensive. And I certainly understand Mary's complaint about it being loud. It is loud. I might be at the point where I need it to be that loud. But it all depends on what you're seeing, too, I think. I don't really... Before I had this membership, I wouldn't really go unless I thought it was a movie I had to see on the big screen or I had to see before... people spoiled it for me. If it was a movie like, I don't know, what's out now, American Fiction, a movie like that, or the Bob Marley movie or something like that, I would wait for those to be available to watch at home. But the big blockbusters and the Marvel movies or the big sci-fi films or horror films that might have a twist, those are the ones that I would usually go see in the theater. Certainly, I will be lined up for the new Ghostbusters film that comes out next month. I don't know that I'm going to see... I guess I should see Dune on the big screen since I saw it. I didn't watch the first one until last week. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about seeing it in the theater. But our resident movie expert... Jason Ken said, you should see it in the theater and you should see it in IMAX. So I probably won't go to Dartmouth to see that one. But there are movies coming up that I'm definitely going to go to see, like Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire, Imaginary, which is a horror film about an imaginary friend come to life. The First Omen, which is like a prequel to the film The Omen. The Godzilla... Kong, The New Empire. I've gotten myself into all of those movies. But then, just even taking a look at the summer movie slate or what's already kind of coming out, with the exception of Deadpool, I don't know if I'm going to really be that fired up to go see a bunch of those movies. but I bought. Oh, I saw Laura call back. I don't know if I hung up on you or if you hung up on me, but there'll be, movies that I'll go to see just because I'm paying for that subscription. I want to make sure I get my money's worth. 508-996-0500. That is the number to call in. And if you haven't seen that movie subscription idea, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it is, I have it through AMC, but it seems like all the theater chains have it, where you pay a flat price every month and you can just go and book yourself tickets to see the movie. So I chose AMC because of two reasons. One, the proximity of the Dartmouth Theater to here, so I can leave work and go to the movies. And also because the AMC plan gives you 3 movies a week. So it resets every Friday, but you can see 3 movies a week. And then some of the other plans are like, you only get to see like 4 movies a month or 2 movies a month or 3 movies a month. So I like the fact that this one essentially gives me, on average 12 movies a month for $25. So I'm basically paying $2 to go to the movies if I was to use it and see all of them. But you only really have to go, if you're like me and you go alone, you only have to go twice and it makes it worth it. And then you get discounts and special treatment for the concessions. I get to stand in a special line. There's never a line anyway when I go to get a concession, so it doesn't really matter. But they'll send you some special deals and stuff. It was great during Thanksgiving season when I went to see the Holdovers and what else did I see? Ironclad. Going to the movies and they had the Taylor Swift buckets they were trying to get out. And you can get a large Taylor Swift popcorn bucket full of popcorn for $5 and a large Taylor Swift soda for $1. So I was only paying $6 for my concessions, but then they ran out, so that deal was over. But keep an eye out for that kind of stuff, so you can save money. I know it's expensive to go to the movies, but there's ways to save money and be able to still have that fun time out. 508-996-0500. You're next on WBSM.
Good morning, Tim.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. First of all, I wanted to reach out to Sketty and tell her I wish her good luck in Plymouth because it's a great place that she knows. She's lived there. And my boyfriend who passed away back about 5 years ago, he was from there. And we used to go there. We used to go fishing at Morton Park Pond all the time. It was great. So I wish her well and to her trip also to Las Vegas. She's a sweetheart. I really love her. She's a nice person and so good to everybody. Also, I wanted to let you know on Saturday, I went to Gas Express and I tried the chicken with the honey biscuit and those wonderful wedged potatoes, steak fries. Oh, my God, it was delicious.
Well, am I right? Is it the best chicken in New Bedford? The best fried chicken?
Yes, it is the best chicken in New Bedford. The only time I've ever had chicken better or comparable to that was in Delaware. But that was fantastic. And those thighs, I thought they were breasts. They don't sell breast meat. It's just the dark meat, except for the wings. I said, you're kidding me. I've never seen them that large before. They were massive. We loved it. We're going to definitely go back again sometime. I don't eat fried foods that much, but, we'll go back again. It was fantastic. And the price, you can't beat the price.
Well, I would say next time you go, you want to try the boneless tenders. They're like a chicken breast unto themselves. Gazelle, who Gazelle over at Fun 107, he's like me. He's a big eater, and he called me yesterday. He's like, I got the tenders on your suggestion. He says, and I got a 4-piece, and I could only finish 2 of them. I was like, I told you, man.
Wow,
I told you.
Wow.
So
that is fantastic. Oh, it was so good. I absolutely loved it. It was fantastic. And, bringing it home across the way, because I live in the West End, it wasn't all greasy or anything like that, like some chicken can be when you let it sit for a little while.
Yeah, no.
It was all nice and crispy, and it was really good. I loved it.
Well, I'm glad that you liked it.
Oh, absolutely. And I am a big potato person. I love potatoes. If I'm going to eat any white stuff, it's the potatoes. And they were huge, massive wedges. They were really delicious. Very
well seasoned. Yeah, really good.
Oh, I didn't need to put anything on them. I didn't use ketchup or anything. I just ate them the way they were. And like you said, there was so much food that I had leftovers, and so did he. Just a lot of food for a very, very good price.
Well, I'm glad that you liked it.
Oh, I did. I thank you for giving us all these great ideas about different places to go to. It's really great. Oh, and I'm going to see, I haven't seen it yet, but I want to see Ordinary Angels. That's out in the movies right now. And I want to see it. It sounds kind of unusual, and I'd like to see it.
Yeah, that's why I have this subscription, so I can go see things that are like, I'm not really sure, but then you go and you see it and you like it, and even if you don't like it, it's like, well, it's not like it really cost me any extra because I was already paying for the subscription. So it's a good deal. It's worth getting if you like to go to the movies a lot.
Oh yeah, it sounds great.
All right. Well, I gotta take a break here, but thank you for the call.
Oh, you're welcome, and you have a great day.
And you have a great one yourself. Take it easy.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
And Sketty just sent an app chat message to tell Laura she is strong. So there you go. All right, I got to take a break. We'll be back in just a few moments. We'll go back to your calls at 508-996-0500 in just a few moments. You can also send app chat messages and open line voicemails on the WBSM app. We will take more of those coming up. But right now, we're going to be going into the newsroom and getting all the headlines of the day, both nationally and internationally, with Phil Devitt. Take it away, Phil.
Now, the biggest stories on the South Coast from the WBSM Newsroom. This is WBSM News.
Both President Biden and former President Trump will visit the U.S.-Mexico border today. The president meeting with Border Patrol agents and local leaders in Brownsville, Texas. Donald Trump, meanwhile, will deliver remarks in Eagle Pass, Texas. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin will be grilled in a congressional hearing today over his decision to not tell the president about his recent surgery. Austin had prostate surgery in January and failed to tell President Biden or the Pentagon for several days. The retired four-star Army general has apologized for how he handled the matter. Austin will face questions from the Republican-led House Armed Services Committee. A federal bill protecting in vitro fertilization was blocked by Republican Cindy Hyde-Smith of Mississippi, who said the bill would legalize human cloning and gene-edited designer babies, among other things. Earlier this month, the Alabama Supreme Court declared that frozen embryos are children. Russian President Vladimir Putin is delivering his State of the Nation address to Russia's Houses of Parliament today. Mark Mayfield with more.
The speech at the Federal Assembly will be delivered to about 1,000 Russian lawmakers and officials. Putin said last week that the speech will set Russia's goals for the next 6 years and will take into account the internal political calendar. The Russian leader is expected to win next month's presidential election as he's facing no opposition. I'm Mark Mayfield.
After 8 attempts at establishing an IV, the planned execution of a convicted killer in Idaho was stopped Wednesday. Thomas Creech was convicted of 5 murders in 3 states and also killed an inmate, which led to the death sentence. The stars of Curb Your Enthusiasm are remembering the late, great Richard Lewis. The comedian died Tuesday of a heart attack. His most recent role was on the hit Larry David comedy show, now in its final season. And on Wednesday, David called Lewis the funniest person, adding that he was like a brother to him. Richard Lewis was 76 years old. Tesla CEO Elon Musk says the electric automaker plans to start shipping its Roadster sports car next year. In a series of posts on X Wednesday, Musk said the design was a collaboration between Tesla and his rocket company, SpaceX. And every 4 years, we add an extra day to make up for Earth's rotation. Bree Tennis with Leap Day details.
NASA says it's not 365 days. The Earth's rotation takes 365.24. And there's a lot to celebrate. It's Superman's birthday. There are special cocktails. And it's the reason there's a Sadie Hawkins Day, where the girls ask out the boys. Scottish legend says if a woman proposes to a man on Leap Day and he says no, he has to pay a fine. Seems like a career side hustle for women. I'm Bree Tennis.
Time now for WBSM Sports, brought to you by Sparks Auto in Dartmouth. The Red Sox in spring training today with the Detroit Tigers. That game at 1. The Boston Bruins host the Vegas Golden Knights at 7. And the Boston Celtics host the Dallas Mavericks Friday night. Now let's check your forecast with ABC 6.
This morning's going to be mostly sunny, but it's going to be blustery and very cold. Temperatures today are going to be struggling in the 30s, and with the wind, of course, it's going to feel like the teens for much of the day. For tonight, mainly clear and still cold, your low near 23. And Friday, we'll see a return to full sunshine and a high of 44. So seasonable temperatures come back. Rain arrives for the weekend. From the ABC 6 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Kelly Bates on New Bedford's News Talk Station, 1420 WBSM.
I'm Phil Devitt for WBSM News. Stay up to date with New Bedford's News Talk station, WBSM, and get all of our content and breaking news alerts with the WBSM app.
This is that ice cold them hood girls, them good girls, straight masterpieces. Stylin', wildin', living it up in the city. Got Chuck's on with Saint Laurent. Gotta kiss myself, I'm so pretty. I'm too hot. Call the police and the fireman. I'm too hot. Make a dragon wanna retire, man. I'm too hot. Say my name, you know who I am. I'm too hot. And my band bought that money. Break it down. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Saturday night and we in the spot. Don't believe me, just watch.
Somewhere there's video of me on a cruise ship dancing to that song. It's probably the only video you'll see of me dancing. So there's, shrinkflation is a thing. People are complaining about this happening all over, but because of the time of year that it is, I got an article that was just, pushed out to my phone about shrinkflation happening somewhere where people are not too happy about it because of the time of year that it is. It's Lent, right? And when it's Lent, people will eat a lot of fish. And for many people, it's the only time of year they'll ever go to McDonald's and get a Filet-o-Fish. And there's a whole bunch of people online that are all up in arms because apparently the Filet-o-Fish has shrunk significantly from where it was last year. So basically what I'm reading here, what I'm reading into some of these stories, is that there's a lot of folks who only get this sandwich during Lent. And so they haven't had it since Lent of last year. And when they got it this year, they're like, what? This is like 20% smaller than it was last year. What's funny about that is I probably haven't had a Filet-o-Fish in about a year. And it was already, to me, much smaller than I remembered when I had it last year. So if it's smaller than that now, what are you paying for? I like the Filet-o-Fish. Sometimes I would get it if I went to McDonald's. Sometimes I would get McDonald's because it's a short walk from the studio. And sometimes I would get McDonald's because I was broke and I would have rewards in the app and say, well, I can go get a sandwich out of the app or something. Or, get something really cheap for like $2 or $3. But the last time I got the Filet-o-Fish was probably about a year ago, and I said, I don't think I'm going to do that again. Because it went from being the sandwich that was always bigger than the bun. Remember, you would get the Filet-o-Fish, and it would have it's square. So it would have the corners poking out over the bun. Well, the last time I got one, that wasn't the case. There was more bun than there was fish, and now they're saying it shrunk even more from that point. And this was always the time of year when they would do the special, like, 2 Filet-o-Fish for $5 or whatever it was. Well, yeah, you probably need 2 of those to equal 1 sandwich now. So just let me know if you've experienced that. 508-996-0500 or send me an app chat message. I try not to go to McDonald's at all anymore, but I do like McDonald's breakfast. A nice Egg McMuffin and a hash brown. I'll use my carbs up on that. 508-996-0500. Good morning. You're next on WBSM.
Yeah, out here, McDonald's out here, you order, let's say if you want a Big Mac, they'll give you another one for free. And they do that. They've been doing that for like the last, I guess, since October. They've been doing that out here.
Wow.
And so I was thinking, like, geez, I remember when they were doing the final episode of Seinfeld. I was having a big party, so I went to Taco Bell, and that's when they had to start having those gorditas, and I got like, I put like this, I got like $80 worth of stuff from Taco Bell, and then got a pony keg, and so and it was like the $80. That was a lot. I got a lot of discounts. So they were like $1. They were $1 back then. The gorditas and stuff like that. They were nice back in the days. And so I also like to say, hey, Sketty, hopefully I'll be seeing you when she comes to Vegas. I'm thinking about taking her to go see Daniel Tosh when she comes out here. You know, would you like to see Daniel Tosh?
I was never really a fan. I was thinking about you last night, Lamone. I was watching CNN has this series about the history of Las Vegas.
Oh yeah.
It just started this past Sunday, and I was watching this first episode that kind of got into a little bit about how it was built up, but kind of some of what Vegas was like in the early days.
They talk about the West Side. Had you made it to the West Side yet? Where they were talking about the Moulin Rouge.
Yep, they did. Yeah, they talked about that. They talked about the Moulin Rouge only lasting a few months, and they talked about how the black folks that lived there could work, but they could only work in the back of the house, and they talked about. Ella Fitzgerald being the first black person to walk through the front door of a casino. Very interesting.
But how they did that here, it was like a lot of the big acts, like the Rat Pack, that after they finished performing on the Strip, they would come over to the Moulin Rouge. And like Sammy Davis Jr., they have a house over there. He had his own little room over there. He had a house in Vegas, but there's a place over on the West Side, not that far from Cadillac Arms. That's, dude, you can tell. All right, so his house, there's a little room there. They were doing having a big fundraiser just a few months ago, and people would buy brick for $50, and it helped build the walls of the building over there.
Oh.
Got a couple bricks over there. It's nice to see. But oh man, I remember when they had the Rodney King riot was going on. You remember they had the riots all over the country.
Mm-hmm.
I remember they had the Marines and stuff. They had the National Guard going with the Jeeps going down the West Side, going over on the West Side up there. It was crazy. They broke down a lot of stuff. Oh, tell me if this was wrong of me. Okay. All right. I remember around that time that happened, I was going to take my daughters. I said, "You guys want to go to Disneyland?" And they said, "Yeah, let's go to Disneyland." We were totally ready to go to Disneyland, but we didn't make it there. And so I went over, look, Disneyland, they burnt it down. And they said, Mickey, they started crying. So you think that was wrong for doing that?
That was probably a little wrong, yeah. I think you probably could have came up with a better way to avoid the trip, but all right.
Well, we're trying to go out there, so yeah, but that was kind of sad. But there's if you only saw that part, there's so much more. You only saw, how many episodes did you see?
There's only one that they've released so far, so the next one will be on Sunday night at 10 o'clock.
Well, so there's a lot of good stuff there. That seems like they skipped over a lot of things. Yeah,
well, it's a multi-part series, so they'll...
Like I told you, I worked at the only black station in Nevada, and 88.1 where I was working there, it was called the West Side School, and I remember they had Native Americans in there. There were kids going there too. So when I would at nighttime, because I worked midnight, I would see little ghost kids running around outside the studio, inside, but outside the studio where I'm at. And what I would do, I would play Indian reservation for them, and they would come sit down like in a circle. I have them all sitting down, and I had people witnessing this. I remember having Tina Marie, the singer Tina Marie, as she was witnessing this too. So that was crazy. But that place. Sometimes when you go into a place, and it's like you're walking into a mist, and you can feel it on you.
Yeah,
and
you definitely.
Be like that place you were at with the tub guy. When you left from there, you had to you literally have to shake yourself off to get that feeling off of you. So did you watch the video, the clip I told you?
I haven't had a chance to check it out yet. I was pretty busy yesterday, so I'll try and take a look at it today. I just got to hold you there, Lamone, because I got to take a break here. But I thank you for the call.
You have a good day.
You as well.
Bye, everyone. Ciao.
Take care.
Stay scary.
That's Lamone in Las Vegas. I do have to take a break. We'll be right back. Welcome back in. 508-996-0500. Good morning. You're next on WBSM.
Good morning, Tim. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
I was listening to your conversation about McDonald's, and I like their fish sandwich. Usually when I go there, that's what it's for. But you know what's been happening lately? I noticed now they only give you half a slice of cheese. They don't even give you a full slice of cheese.
Well, I mean, I guess you don't need a full slice when the fish fillet is half the size it used to be.
Yeah, it's been like that for a couple of months now. Because usually when I go to McDonald's, that's what I get. That's the only reason I go there, regardless whether, they say it's not really fish because it's square, whatever. But yeah, I've noticed, like, I don't know, because I don't like tartar sauce, so I usually check the sandwich first before I bite into it. And yeah, to be honest with you, I can't remember to tell you exactly when that started happening, but I do remember that one day when I looked at the sandwich and I was like, oh my God, I'm like, what is this? I only have half a slice of cheese here. And that's what they've been doing. And the other thing is, you're right. I used to love their pancakes. I used to go there and pick up pancakes to bring home for me and my granddaughter. And, because, price point, it was, a pretty good deal. Yeah. And their pancake batter was pretty good. But I stopped going there to get pancakes because they're like half of the size of what the normal pancake was there originally. And this last time, which it's been again a couple of months, the last time I did pick it up, it was even smaller. So, it just about fits about half, if not even half, of the long size of that, pancake container. And you have to battle for some extra butter. You have to battle for an extra syrup thing. It's almost like it's torture for them to give you something extra. So, but I called in about the cheese on the fish sandwich. I don't know if anybody else has noticed, but yeah, it's been quite a few months now. It's only half a slice. It's not a full slice of cheese. Anyway, that was just my comment.
That's
today.
Crazy,
so
though. You would think, what are they doing with the other half? What? It's not going to work out mathematically if you don't sell enough filet-o-fish sandwiches.
Well, I don't understand. They do put I've asked, I know, like my granddaughter, she'll get like a cheeseburger or whatever. And I usually look and it's still a full slice of cheese. So I don't understand why they're only putting half a slice of cheese on the fish sandwich when they're putting a full slice on everything else. That's kind of baffling me. But anyway, you have a good day.
You as well. Take care. And I know I'm going to get some app chat messages and calls. I know you could take 2 half slices of cheese and melt them together and make 1 slice of cheese. I get it. I was just being facetious. But yeah, that is certainly concerning because it's not like the price has gone down. If anything, it's gone up. So I wouldn't, again, I don't really go to McDonald's a whole heck of a lot anymore. And, it's a combination of 2 things. I'm not really eating that kind of food anymore, but also I went to Burger King maybe 6 or 7 months ago and got for lunch. I was doing laundry down the street and I was like, I'm going to grab some lunch on my way back to the station and I'll just eat in my office. And it was like $16 for a burger and fries and a drink. I was like, well, this isn't affordable anymore. 508-996-0500. Good morning. You're next on WBSM.
Good morning, Tim.
How you doing?
Good. The fish sandwich at McDonald's is like a junior fish sandwich.
Oh, man.
And it's been like that for about a year, I'd say. The size has shrunk.
So, but the price hasn't changed, right?
No, it has not. I believe it's like $5.29 for a fish sandwich.
So to me, I think, when you've got something like that you're pushing this time of year, you would want to impress people with it as much as you can so that they come back and get it when it's not Lent, instead of ripping people off.
They are 2 for $6 right now.
It doesn't sound like much of a deal if you're only getting half of what you used to get.
Yeah, I agree with you. The fish sandwich at Burger King sort of seems like it's been, heated up a few times.
Yeah, I've never really liked
overly fresh.
Never liked the texture of the Burger King fish sandwich.
Right, me neither. No, it used to be much better in years past, and it was much bigger too, I believe. Their fish sandwich going back 10 years ago or so.
I mean, we're lucky that we live in an area where we can get, a nice fresh fish sandwich from so many different restaurants around here and not pay that much more than we would at these fast food places. But what about people that are, the only access they have to seafood is getting it from places like this? That to me, I don't know. I just feel like the Filet-o-Fish is something that you shouldn't have messed with.
I agree, 100%. It does taste good, though. I like the fish sandwich at McDonald's.
Yeah, it's still delicious.
But the
That's
size is, the kicker, the size of it and the price.
All right, well, thank you for the call.
Have a good one, Tim. Bye-bye.
And that's the thing is, it's so good. It's like one of the things, there's times that people would say, oh, let's just grab something at McDonald's. And I'm like, because McDonald's, so much of the food there just tastes salty to me. And always has. I just don't like salt. So I'd be like, no, I don't think so. But then I always knew, well, at least I can there's two things I can always get that will make me not feel as, salty. No pun intended. The Filet-o-Fish and the McChicken. But those are two things, the caller previously said how she doesn't like tartar sauce, so she gets hers without tartar sauce and checks to make sure there isn't tartar sauce on it. They take that sandwich and they load it with tartar sauce. They take the McChicken, they load it with mayonnaise as if that's supposed to help fill up the bun from the smaller portions that they're putting in there now. Anyway, I couldn't believe that people are saying online that the Filet-o-Fish has shrunk 20% from what it was a year ago, when what it was a year ago had already shrunk. Those old days and they still, the commercials and the ads and the photos on the menu still have it the same, of the fish coming out over the bun and the cheese melted across all four corners and all. I guess that's not the case at all anymore. Anyway, there's worse things in life to have to worry about than, what you're getting on your Filet-o-Fish. Got to take a break. We'll be right back. Well, I'll tell you this much. I got some information that came via app chat regarding the Filet-o-Fish and the cheese. And then I did a little digging online. And I found something very interesting. So we're going to get into that coming up in the next hour. I know it's not the most pressing issue in the world.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.